Once Amelia recovered from the shock of the kiss, her eyes shot open. She placed her hands on Charles's chest and pushed him away. "You can't do that, Charles. You need to go." How did her golf date with Thomas result in Amelia getting kissed by Charles in a bathroom hallway? It seemed Thomas's stunt to make Charles jealous worked a little too well and backfired. Amelia's thoughts were in a blur, but mostly she was hurt. Charles was engaged to Sophie, and Amelia had resigned to let go of him. Yet he still confessed his love for her and went so far as to steal a kiss? When she pushed him away, his face flickered with sadness. He looked into her eyes, hoping to find a hint of love in them, but he was just met with confusion and tears. "I'm sorry. I'm selfish," he said softly, and forced a bitter smile. "It had been too long since I last did that. I didn't want to go the rest of my life without kissing you one more time." Amelia said nothing, and Charles left. She remained in place, dazed, and struggling to process what had just happened. Once she finally snapped out of it and prepared to leave, she felt the presence of an icy gaze behind her, boring into her, and turned around, only to end up bumping right into a strong chest. How many men was she going to crash into in this one bathroom hallway? She didn't even have to look up to know whose chest it was. She knew it the second she caught his warm amber scent. Javier. She stepped back to find the arrogant contours of his darkly staring down at her. How long had he been in the hallway? Had he seen what just happened with Charles? The thought made her heart race with inexplicable guilt. Then she laughed bitterly at herself. Why should she feel guilty? He had nothing to do with her. He made it clear that her feelings would be nothing but a burden. She cleared her throat, straightened her back, and greeted him in a flat, distant tone. "Your Highness." Javier's brow furrowed. "A word, please? Not here. Follow me." After the emotional assault she just experienced with Charles, Amelia didn't have the brain space to question his request. So she followed him until she realized where he was leading her. "Javier, this is the men's room. I can't go in there," Amelia protested. "Come. It's fine. No one's in there." Javier held the door and ushered her inside, locking the door behind them with a decisive click. "What is so urgent that has to be discussed in a gross bathroom?" Javier took out a handkerchief, wet it in the sink, then stood before her and coolly asked, "May I?" She looked at him, puzzled. "Huh? May you what?" He hooked his finger under her chin, and she froze, not expecting the intimate gesture. She saw his eyes drift to her lips and his face scrunched in displeasure when he suddenly raised the handkerchief to her lips and wiped them clean. Ruffled by his actions, Amelia smacked his hands away. "Mm, My makeup! What are you doing?" He tensed his brow and looked at her with piercing eyes. "Disinfecting. Or do you plan on going back to your date with another man's germs on you?" Unfortunately for Amelia, turns out Javier did witness the kiss after all, which was an extra headache she didn't need. "Is this what you pulled me in here for? Let me out." Javier's face hardened. "I followed you back here to warn you about Flores, but I certainly didn't expect to find you locked in a kiss with your brother-in-law. Didn't you tell me twice that you don't care about him anymore? The kissing makes it seem like you very much care. So, which is it, Amelia?" Amelia was angry and frustrated that Javier was once again bullying her about her love life. Matters with Charles were already confusing enough. She didn't need to deal with the prince's holier-than-thou attitude about her relationships. Officially overwhelmed by the day, her eyes stung with tears as she stepped to him and put him in his place. I don't see how that is any of your business, Javier. I don't need you following me around to warn me against my date or interrogate me about who I kiss. I am free to kiss and date anyone I like, when I like. If I want to kiss every man on this golf course, that's my choice to make. You get no say in how I live my life. You might be my son's father, but you are not mine. Javier's jaw clenched. Yeah, you're lucky I'm not your father. I would have spanked you by now. Then his lip curled up in a sly smirk. Hmm, maybe I still will. Amelia crossed her arms and they stood in a stare off. Try it and see what happens. Done with him, she stormed to the door to leave, but froze when she heard two familiar voices right outside the bathroom door. Outside the men's room, Victor's voice was heard. Mr. Flores, I'm afraid no one is permitted to enter this restroom at the moment. Mr. Flores? Amelia's heart sank. Was Thomas about to enter the men's room? If he found her alone with Javier in a locked bathroom, he'd definitely get the wrong idea. Oh, was Prince Calderon crowned king of the potty? I didn't realize he reigns over this restroom. Thomas's casual, mocking tone confirmed Amelia's fears. He was attempting to enter the bathroom. His Excellency is currently inside, Victor explained patiently. I suggest you use the other restroom nearby. Thomas smiled obnoxiously. And if I insist on going in? Meanwhile, back inside the bathroom, Amelia stood frozen at the door, and a wicked grin appeared on Javier's lips when he heard Thomas's voice. What are you waiting for? I thought you wanted out. Open the door, Amelia. Shh, Javier, please. Amelia pressed her hand to Javier's mouth, begging him not to say anything that Thomas might hear. This man was infuriating. She couldn't stand to spend one more second in this bathroom with him. Just then, they heard Thomas relent outside. Fine, I'll go. I don't want to smell whatever is taking its excellency so long in there anyway. Thomas walked off, a little worried about where Amelia had gone and why she hadn't come back from the bathroom yet. Hearing Thomas walk away, Amelia breathed a sigh of relief. She waited a minute and then strode out of the bathroom without another word or glance at Javier. She was so mad at him. Javier stayed back for a moment, not wanting to cause a scandal by being seen exiting the bathroom with a woman. He hadn't intended to go as far as he did when he lashed out at her. He let his emotions get the better of him after seeing Amelia laughing and smiling so freely with another man. Seeing Thomas pull her into an embrace, only to later catch her in a lip lock with Charles, sent him over the edge. When Amelia reached Thomas on the field, she had no interest in continuing the game. She couldn't face Charles, nor could she stand the sight of Javier right now. Thomas, ever perceptive, didn't push her. When she told him she wanted to leave, he complied without hesitation. And as they passed Javier's group, Thomas gave a polite nod before casually taking Amelia's hand to lead her to their golf cart. All the while, Amelia kept her gaze fixed on the ground, avoiding all eye contact. But she could feel the weight of someone's burning stare on her back. She couldn't tell if it was Charles or Javier or both, but she wasn't going to check. Javier remained calm on the surface, his demeanor unchanged as he continued conversing with his guests. But as Amelia's figure disappeared from view, his dark eyes flicked in her direction for the briefest of moments, cold and inscrutable. Later, Amelia retrieved the food she had prepared for Thomas from the hostess, and they got in his car. She had intended to make Thomas dinner, but seeing as how it was still the afternoon, she changed her plans and decided to make him lunch. They headed to her friend Faith's apartment so Amelia could use her kitchen to cook the meal. Knowing Amelia was coming, Faith waited downstairs to let them in. And when she saw Amelia pull up with Thomas in his luxury sports car, her eyes gleamed with curiosity. When Amelia entered Faith's apartment, she was showered with a barrage of nosy, mischievous looks from Faith. The second Thomas sat down in the living room, Faith couldn't wait to pull Amelia aside in the kitchen and interrogate her about bringing such a stylish heartthrob back to her house. Spill it, Amelia. Who is that hottie you're cooking for, and what are your intentions with him? Are you two just friends, or do you want it to be something more? To find out what happens next, download the Pocket FM app in the next minute to get free access to all episodes of The Royal Accident for free.